fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off, we had Izuku Midoriya. He, well, has fought against the destroyer known as Lord Beerus of his universe. Now, along with that, I'm aware of how long this series is becoming. So in order to speed this up, I am going to be trying to get this series over with in the next few parts. However, if my guess would be correct, I do want to say that it would take most likely 3 or 4. I may not be accurate enough to properly say. However, let me begin. We do have Izuku Midoriya. After his fight with Lord Beerus, he actually did, well, come out of it a bit better. Upon his fights, he received a Zenkai. Along with the injury he also did have during the fight, he received another massive one. Now, Midoriya and Beerus were not going at full power whenever they were fighting. However, they were still ramping up in intensity, and beginning to make their way there. And the Grand Priest had to stop them, because if their next punch would have collided, which would have actually been a lot more serious, the force behind it would have been enough to make that part of the universe, or the area of their collision, collapse. Now, with that all being said, let us also pick up with Midoriya the next day, as he is actually outside, and focusing, lamenting on his fight with Beerus, along with his power increase, as he actually does turn Super Saiyan. You watching as Momo and Mina do actually start Midoriya, who then does actually go to Super Saiyan 2. Now, as soon as Midoriya does actually do that, he does actually jump from 3, well, jump over 3 actually, and jumping to a more stable Super Saiyan 4. Now, as soon as he does actually do that, he does bring his hand up to look at it, and begin to inspect his new form. Now, you actually do have Mina and Momo, who do begin to ask Midoriya about what that is. I don't know. But whatever it is, I like it. It's not quite close to God, but it's close. If I've had to give it an estimate, I'd say half. Half? Are you serious? Your ki skyrocketed. And I don't know, but I want to say that without God ki, you'd still be this powerful. Interesting. Well, from what I heard from Lord Beerus, I gained control over the Uzaru, or my Great Ape, after going Super Saiyan. Wait, you're saying that after you turn into the Golden Great Ape, you gain control of it? Yeah, I did. Midoriya then actually dropping out of that form, as he does actually decrease in size. Since I do want to say that the Super Saiyan 4 form does actually make you 8 feet tall, if I'm correct. Anyways, now, with that, Momo actually does begin to ask Midoriya a bit more questions about it. And Midoriya does explain it all to her. Now, these are still very interesting. And Momo does actually want to attempt to take on that form. Now, she would ask for help from Mina's magic. And this is whenever Midoriya he would actually go to leave, going to use instant transmission for Vados' planet, saying that he does actually need to check up on them, and check up on Lord Beerus. Now, with that they do actually stop him from leaving, and get Midoriya's help in getting Momo to Super Saiyan 4. Now, it would take a couple of days, but I do want to say that she would get close to it within her first couple of tries. However, she's just so out of control that it's hard for her to control herself. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, whenever he does actually get to Vados' planet, after the first day of trying, he would ask Vados a couple of questions. And she would actually give Midoriya a few answers. Now, along with that, you actually do have Lord Beerus, who is impressed and asking Midoriya if he would like a rematch, to see exactly where they do stand. Not yet, Lord Beerus. In fact, Vados, there is a question I want to know. Can you help me perfect Ultra Instinct? Now, Vados, she actually has her eyes somewhat widen, in a little bit of surprise, and somewhat shock. So, Midoriya believes that it is finally time to do that. Mastery over self-movement. Now, she herself actually is beginning to get a bit giddy and excited, as she does actually begin to tell Midoriya that she would be delighted to do so. In fact, they were supposed to do so, or she was supposed to teach Midoriya these techniques at a much earlier age. However, she did want to see Midoriya progress further within his base form. So she did not really mind him messing around with the mortal world. Now, with that being said, she does actually inform Midoriya that they will go over the side of Ultra Instinct he does seem to have the most control over, defending. Now, with that all being said, Midoriya would begin to learn from Vados, and she would begin to teach him everything she can. Now, I do want to say that since Midoriya is, more accustomed to this side of Ultra Instinct, and the fact that he can somewhat drop into Mastered at a good will, or a good amount of will, that he would be able to begin to master this form, meaning that he can drop into it subconsciously, and sometimes by accident. Now, with that being said, we also do have the Grand Priest, who is actually spying on his daughter, teaching the mortal. Now, the Grand Priest is actually quite surprised, quickly taking a liking to Midoriya's power, and beginning to think about what should go on within the next couple of years. He knows that Zeno is going to announce something. However, if this mortal's universe is erased, then that would mean that they would lose a very, very powerful being, along with the Grand Priest actually having a few ideas, and wondering if one of them might be true. Him wondering if Midoriya is an angel from one of the destroyed universes, somehow managed to mangle itself back together into somewhat of a form, and coming up with some ridiculous theories, especially about this idea, and this idea. basically some things that have happened within his past that caused Zeno to destroy those 6 universes. Now, with that being said, let us cut to roughly around, let's say about a year later, with Izuku Midoriya. In this amount of time, his, child Melissa has been born. And I have already done a coin flip as to what this child's name is and their gender. Now, with that, Midoriya did actually skip a few days in his training, or let's say a few weeks, to spend time with Melissa and help take care of his daughter. Yes, he has another daughter. And that daughter's name is actually one of a Westerner, or a English name. Her name being Olivia. Now, with that, Midoriya did actually find it to be quite surprising. And he was actually somewhat hoping that he can have another son. He knows that Wakashi, he's a pure-blooded Saiyan. So that, anger and rage he does have is actually perfectly normal. However, he was hoping that for a half Saiyan, half human, it would be a little bit more dulled down. Sure, he and his son did have spent a lot of time together training and actually relaxing, but then there's the fact that he just seems to be a little bit more angry and more hostile sometimes. However, it might make sense. The world's been at peace, and it's that fighting instinct in his head. As soon as it did come out, his son did begin to mellow out more, especially whenever Morse was still a threat. He saw the way his son was acting, and he knew his son's feelings. The world of battle and training, one that he tries to stay away from. However, whenever he needed to, he amped up his intensity because he thought that he would have to fight and protect everyone. And that really got his Saiyan blood boiling. Now, with that being said, Wakashi, he actually does drop by and surprise everyone, as he is at the age of 13. And Midoriya actually does talk to his son for a minute, asking him exactly how he has been. Wakashi basically informing his father about everything. He's been training and actually trying to find some very powerful warriors. And Midoriya is actually somewhat proud of him. Ask him if he does want to learn about God Ki and a new form he actually does know about. Saying it isn't God Ki, but it's sort of like it. And Wakashi, he actually basically declined for right now, telling his father that he is actually a bit more busy. And that he is going to need to go back soon. Now, Midoriya did understand this. And after basically giving his best to Melissa and seeing his sister, he did take off. Now, with that being said, we do have, let's see, the remainder of the year. After Midoriya's full year of training, his bodies begin to have less drawbacks to Omen, or his Omen defensive side of Ultra Instinct. And Midoriya, he has actually gone up quite a bit in power. Every time his body has had drawbacks, muscle cramps, breakdowns, or really anything that could potentially harm him, he just starts bouncing back stronger. And he does not give up. Meaning that most of his training has literally almost been dying, or healing, from massive injuries. Now, since Midoriya is a Saiyan, and he's going to have to eventually hit that peak or that point where Zenkai does not help Midoriya anymore. I do want to say that his power level stopped growing. Roughly 6 months after all this torture he's been putting his body through. And Midoriya, he did actually take notice to this. However, he did still keep training and trying to fight. Now, by the end of the year, Midoriya's finally done it. He's mastered the attacking half, or the defensive half, my bad, of Ultra Instinct. And we actually have Midoriya, who is currently staying there in Omen, as he does activate it immediately, before bringing his hands up. And Vados does actually go to attack Midoriya, her rushing towards him. And Midoriya, him just beginning to dodge and move, and getting more and more out of Vados' way. Now, after this does actually happen, Midoriya does do one thing. He throws out his hands, without even meaning to. For roughly 2 seconds, Midoriya masters Ultra Instinct. And he's able to do something that causes Beerus, who's sitting there and watching the battle, to actually spit out a very large amount of food. Midoriya threw out his hand, and actually caused Vados to catch his fist. And as soon as she did actually catch it, she tapped down on it. The amount of force causing a shockwave, along with actually causing Vados to move and fly a bit backwards. Now, Midoriya, who actually does still have his hand down towards the ground, actually does fall out of Mastered for a second, asking Vados exactly is she okay. Hers telling Midoriya that she is actually going to be fine, and to not worry about her. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Oh no, Midoriya, it is perfectly fine. In fact, I'm kind of surprised. Were you trying to do that? No. It just sort of happened. Interesting. Do not worry, I believe that will be great progress. Now, with that, Vados does actually look down at her hand, and she's confused by what she does see. Going to smudge off the thing on it and rub her hand. As soon as she does actually touch the area, she does feel pain. Her face immediately flinching as soon as she does actually touch it before she does just pull her hand back, and is surprised by it. Now, she does actually begin to inspect her hand, as if she does not know what she's looking at, before Beerus actually just walk up and look at Vados' hand. Her still sort of confused, and explaining this weird feeling she does have. Beerus explained that Vados just got hurt. Hurt? What is that? Vados, you've never gotten hurt before, have you? It's what happens during a battle. Oh my. So this is an injury? Yes. In fact, I'd say that it's actually a fairly tame one, but still. If he was able to land a blow on you, he's catching up very fast. Faster than I predicted. I do believe that I should... No. I should ask my father about that. What exactly are you going to do, Vados? Well... Let's just say that if Midoriya can land a blow on me right now, then he should not know about it. However, he should have a stronger teacher. Vados, you can't possibly mean what I think you're talking about, are you? Yes, Lord Beerus. I believe I am. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he actually just go take a break. And actually go to meditate. Him sitting down as he does actually drop into Omen. And we actually have Bakugo and Kirishima, who are both fiercely fighting. As Kirishima, he powers up to Super Saiyan God. And Bakugo brings his hands up and powers up to Super Saiyan Blue, informing Kirishima that he really should just go for Blue. Oh, come on, dude, I'm not going to use Super Saiyan God's Super Saiyan. Ugh, dude, don't say it like that. You're going to bite your tongue again. Huh, touche. But either way, come on, red suits me better. Huh, whatever you say, asshole. Now, this is when Bakugo actually does rush towards Kirishima, and the two do actually begin an intense battle, firing off ki blasts and going back and forth. Bakugo forcing Kirishima into Super Saiyan Blue, as they actually do both send ki blasts at each other, and a stray blast does actually go flying towards Midoriya. As soon as it does happen, you actually have Kirishima, who tells Midoriya to look out. Midoriya, while still meditating, simply just dodges by moving his head and putting it back where it was within the span of a millisecond. This surprising him, thinking for a minute that Midoriya did not even move. What was that? Oh, he's doing that again? That? Yeah. He's, what's the best way to say it? He's learning about Ultra Instinct again. You never did explain what that was. I don't know, it's some power he was born with. It's interesting. I think I might be able to do it too. What makes you think that? Well, Midoriya can do it, right? So what's to say that I can't? Well, I mean, wasn't Midoriya basically raised by that Vados lady? Fair point. Even then, apparently he's the only mortal to do something like this within the multiverse. I didn't even know a multiverse existed. But if he's literally the only person who can, then I'm curious as to what else was happening. The multiverse? Yeah. Vados talked about all 12 universes. Okay. That's interesting, though. You're just making me even more curious about... You're just giving me more questions, man. No time for questions. Let's get back to fighting. Now, the two do actually keep going and continue their training. Well, Midoriya does actually fall deeper within his meditation. Now, while Midoriya is meditating, Vados does actually make her way to the Grand Priest Palace, or Zeno's Palace. And as soon as she does actually get there, she greets her father, beginning to inform him of Midoriya's progress. Him actually informing her that he already knows exactly what is going on, and asking if she does want him to take on that boy as sort of a student. Really? Father, would you really be able to? I'm curious. His potential is very great. And if I do have to say so, I may have gone against, well, one of our rules. Really? Father, you went against the rules, but you're such a stickler for them. Well, technically it's not against it, but I may have broken a one. I am unsure. I did look into this boy's future, and I have seen great things. Now, the Grand Priest actually does continue talking. And he does actually break that rule that he was talking about, saying that he does know where Midoriya's power will one day fall and land, as he does continue talking, before agreeing, saying that he will take on Midoriya. She simply just needs to inform him. Now, she does also tell the Grand Priest that he would need to teach Midoriya the Kai Kai technique in order for him to get home and see his daughter. His daughter? Yes, he just had another child with, well, an Earthling. Fascinating. Do any of his children show... Oh, no, no. They do not. I have already tried training young Wakashi and young Etsa, along with his strange daughter Hope. And they do not show signs. Yes. So it isn't genetic. It's strange. Oh, nothing, Vados. But I will go collect Midoriya soon. And I am very happy that you have been able to show me this. Now, with that being said, she does actually leave. And the Grand Priest does actually still lament on how powerful Midoriya is going to be. His power? It's going to be great. Magnificent. And if he does have to say so, he might actually surpass Vados one day. Now, with that all being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. I will catch you guys in the next part.